I'm attaching this video to exercise 02.1 postcard design to explain a little bit more about this file, the sample file, where you can organize your postcard that you create. Your postcards, when you create them, they're going to be separate items. They're going to be the front side of the postcard, the back side that has the postage, the message, etc. Uh, the sample file that's attached is a smaller resolution file that is not quite up to par to what it should be for a 300 dpi image, one that can be printed with a little bit more resolution, something that'll be better looking once it's printed. Everything else is digital. The postcard is a print item, so we want to follow certain rules. I'm going to open up Photoshop and create, or at least rather recreate the steps that you can follow to create the file that will hold your final postcards. Going into Photoshop and creating a new file, clicking File and New. This is a Windows version of Photoshop, the latest version, 2021. And the document that you're working with, or at least the sample, shows that this is it's a letter-sized document. It's an 8.5 by 11. So it's just a regular sheet of paper, something that you can send to your printer. Once you're done with your designs, you can copy and paste them directly onto this file that we're creating. So for that, I'm going to select, once I say File New, I'm going to make sure that this is a print document, so something that will automatically get some things going for me on the side. If you are printing, or rather if you're designing vertical postcards, you might want to use a horizontal orientation for your page rather than the vertical one that I'm using. You want to use those contrasting sizes. I'll stick to the basic horizontal design at first. I have my letter selected on the left. I want to make sure that I'm at 8.5 by 11 inches. If you have anything else other than inches, make sure that this is changed to inches. The resolution should be 300 pixels per inch. The color mode, because this is a print product, print works different than digital. We want to make sure that we select CMYK, the cyan, magenta, yellow, and black color scheme. 8-fit is fine, the white background is fine, everything else is okay. We will click Create, and we have a letter size page. I'm going to press Ctrl 0 so it zooms in a little bit closer. I already have my rulers up top. If you can't see them, Ctrl R on a PC will bring them up. Command R will do the same thing on a Macintosh. My dimensions are already in inches. I'm going to right click on the ruler itself. It tells me what my choices are. There could be pixels, inches, etc. Make sure that you're using inches. It's just easier. We're going to be creating the front and the back side of a 6 inches across, 4 inches vertical postcard. I'm going to be using the rulers for this. I already know that 6x4 will fit okay inside of this document size. I want to start by maybe bringing in a ruler from the left side of the screen. I'm going to bring it in all the way to 6 inches, since that is the width of the final product. I'm going to do the same thing, or a similar thing, from the top, and I'm going to be pulling in the ruler to 4 inches. So I have this area that's cordoned off by the rulers on 6 inches and 4 inches to make sure that I know then this is the space that I want to use. I am currently working on the background. This is a flat image right now, but I do want to start to create some layers. I'm going to create a new layer right away. I'll click on the plus icon below. I have a layer 1 that's empty. I'm going to bring in another selection by selecting the marquee tool. I'm going to draw the area that's 6x4, and once it's selected, I'm going to pick a color, just a random color from the palette. I'll just click on a blue, and this is now my foreground color. I'm going to fill in the area by clicking Edit and Fill. Make sure that you got the foreground color selected. I'll click OK, and now I have that blue covering the area that was selected. It's 6 by 4 inches. I'm going to deselect by visiting the select menu and deselecting. The shortcut is Control D on a Mac, or rather on a PC. On a Macintosh it's Command D. Since it's now deselected, then it can be moved around and the selection is no longer holding that area. I do want to move the rulers that I've created a little bit. This one going horizontally, I'm going to click on the Move tool first. Hover on top of the ruler that was already set there, and I'm going to move it up to 1 inch. That way this will be my margin on top, and I can move the one that's going horizontally to 1 inch as well. So I have one on top, one from the left. I'm going to draw another one from the right and drop it in at about 7.5 inches. And finally, since this is 11 inches tall, if I bring it in to 10 inches, I should have this area below at about an inch, well, or at an inch rather. On my layer 1, where my postcard area currently resides, I'm going to click, also using the Move tool, bring it in to the area just below the 1 inch margin. It's stuck to the margin there, and I have a little bit of space in between, or rather on the left and the right side, so that this is now centered. If I right click on the blue area, it tells me that that's layer 1. That would actually help me select the layer right away, which right now I want to copy. I want to go to the layer 1 on the right side here. At least that's where my layers are. Wherever your layers may be, find layer 1, right click on it. Sorry you can't see all of my menu. My screen does not support it, but I will find duplicate layer so that it makes a copy. I'll call it layer 1 copy, why not? And now I have the exact same layer on top of the original one. With my Move tool, then I can bring below that square and have a similar square just below. So just like that, I've created an 8.5 by 11 inch document at 300 dpi. It's in CMYK mode and CMAC mode. It's got the 2 layers that will eventually hold the final product, that is the 2 postcard sides, the front and the back. And we can move forward on building a postcard to fill in and bring in and turn in. Before I forget, I will save this file, save as, and it's a template, so I'll just say that this is my postcard template, and it's for horizontal. So postcard horizontal template. I should already have a folder in my desktop, wherever you feel more comfortable saving your files. Here's my RC 1305. I'm going to save and click OK, and then now I have this template. If you're going to be creating a vertical card and you want a vertical template, well, you've already got one basically. By doing this horizontal template, you can go to the image menu, tell it to rotate, image rotation, and let's do a 90-degree clockwise, and it'll take it up to the side. If I press Control 0, then it just centers the page, and you'll see that my card is now actually should be 4 by 6. So great. 1 to 5 is 4, and 6 to 10 is 4, and then it's here it's from 1 to 7 since you're 6. I can save this one as a vertical one. Why not? I'll save a copy just to have it. And using the same name, I can just change the horizontal to vertical. Very important that these are PSD files so that these layers are saved and continue to provide the space for you to continue to build on top of the original template.